We got to 25 weeks and I started bleeding. I thought I was having a miscarriage. They decided then that I was in labour, and so they decided to do a C-section. Jack was born at 25 weeks plus 2 days. When I came round, you expect to have your baby with you, but of course he wasn't there. He wasn't next to us. He was in the incubator. We put long lines in to feed him intravenously. He was immediately put on oxygen. I couldn't hold him. He was so delicate. They'd obviously done scans, they did ultrasound, and that's when they identified that he had got an issue. The nurses started then talking about NEC, and then we started to understand a bit more how serious it was.
So necrotizing enterocolitis, or NEC, is an infection or inflammation of the bowel. NEC happens so suddenly that babies can go from being very well to very ill, and sadly sometimes dying within a very short space of time.
They took a tiny piece of the bowel out. He didn't feed, his tummy was bloated still, and it was at that point that they said, you know, if it doesn't improve, then we will stop care. And effectively, we were told that you won't take your son home alive. I didn't go and see him very much in those first few days because I didn't know if he would survive, and I didn't want to become attached. 2 weeks past his due date that we managed to bring him home. As a result of the preterm birth and the NEC, he ended up with chronic lung disease. He had speech delay, he had developmental delay, and we had a diagnosis of mild cerebral palsy. At home we need to do physio. We also have to spend quite a lot of time with him on his writing and his reading. I see the differences, but he doesn't, and that to me that's really good.
So it's thought that NEC is caused by an overreaction or overstimulation of the immune response and inflammation in the colon. What we're trying to do is find bacterial viruses, otherly known as bacteriophages, in breast milk that may protect or prevent NEC downstream. So with the Action Medical Research funding, it's allowing us to survey lots of breast milk samples for these bacterial viruses. Then we can start to map those viruses versus what's protective and what's not.
Life after preterm birth, I think it's a very difficult time for families. So the best outcome for this research would be that we would be able to prevent NEC.
If you're considering putting money into Action Medical Research and supporting them as a charity, don't hesitate to do it. Without that research, children like my little boy Jack, they may not be here.